contextualization. And this is part two. There's a TikTok, I don't know if it's a trend, but it's a skit where the husband says to the wife, if you can make me mad using one word, then I'll buy you a designer bag. I was watching that today, and the wife was like, what? It's like, if you use one word, you just say one word to make me mad, I will buy you a designer bag of your choice. And she's like, what? He's like, if you use one word to make me mad, I'll buy a designer bag of your choice. And she says, what? And he says, what do you understand? And she says, gotcha. So perhaps you saw where that was going. In that situation, he didn't understand the context of her using the word what. So he thought that she was just asking him to repeat himself before they started the game, but she knew what she was doing. And she got herself her designer bag as a result. And thus it goes with context. Context really dictates the meaning of anything. Context is like the circumstances around something or the meaning you give to something. So words can have different contexts, different meanings in different contexts, right? And same with phrases. But what about life itself? What about the things that happen to you in life? What about the things that you go through, the difficulties you experience? Do those things have meaning to them? For instance, if your car breaks down, was there a meaning to that? Was it because you deserved for your car broke to break down? Was it because you manifested a breakdown? Or was it because you just didn't put the gas in the car or change the oil enough and you didn't take care of it or you picked a bad car? What is the meaning of your car breaking down? Or could it just be random, like you just got a lemon? Well, for the things that happen to us in life, we actually have the responsibility and thus the power to assign the meaning. We give it context. So if you want, you can believe that it's all your fault that the car broke down. Or if you want, you could blame it on the system, the society, or the car manufacturer. But you give meaning to the things that are happening in your life to you and the things that are the results of your doing in life. And it's very important that we learn how to control the frame. When I say control the frame, that means to give things a meaning that's going to be beneficial to you. It's going to be for your good. If you don't control the frame, then we'll tend toward the negative framing. And if we tend toward the negative framing, then we're going to spiral into mental illness. How is that going to happen? Well, let's say your friend doesn't call you when they normally do. So if you tend toward the negative, the meaning or the frame you'll give this is something like, they don't like me anymore. They don't want me. They're not a good friend. I chose wrong. I made a mistake. Negative, 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 negative. And where will that put you mentally? Not in your best frame of mind. I can't trust anyone. I don't want to be friends with them anymore. I'll just do this alone. I can't be with any blah, blah, blah. And it makes you feel worse. And then it makes you act worse. Now you'll start ignoring your friend when they do reach out, being mean to them, telling them things like, you know what you did, which is probably my least favorite phrase when someone tells me that. When I ask like, hey, what's the problem? They're like, you know what you did. God, gee, I don't know. I don't know. I can't read your mind. I don't know. I don't know. I do crazy things every day. What is the thing that you are concerned about? All of that is mental illness. It's emotional dysregulation. It's trauma response, and none of it is constructive. None of this brings us into our best self. But notice if we control the frame, we go through the same situation. The friend doesn't call us back or call us at the time they normally do. And we say, oh, I'm not going to go into the negative here. Let me control the frame. This friend just may be busy right now. This friend may be intending to call me later. Their phone could have died. There could be a million reasons. So rather than jump to the conclusions, I'm just going to go about my business and focus on my purpose and be patient. And then when they call you up, you say, hey, good to hear from you. How is everything? I was a little worried. And they say, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got caught up at the bank or something, so and so. And everything's fine. That is not mental illness. That's mental health. That's peace. That's happiness. And that's healing. So, do you have that ability? Do you have the gift of being able to contextualize things to your benefit? This is not something you're born with. The default is that we will go to the negative. Does everyone understand? The default is that we will think to the negative, that we will think to the detriment of ourselves. The learned behavior that will be to our benefit, the growth, the healing, the ultimate mindset is to see things to our benefit, not to our detriment, to see things not in the negative, but in the positive. So I'm going to demonstrate for you how to use detrimental frame in some real tough situations that trauma survivors may go through. I want you to pay attention, take note, and even try to see how you would create a beneficial frame, how you would control the frame and contextualize things to your benefit as we're going through this, because I'm going to give you the opportunity to show how you would frame it in the positive in the comment section after I give you some demonstrations. So here's an example. I can't trust anyone. I can't trust anyone. Have you ever felt like that? That is a detrimental frame. Maybe it was because we were hurt by one or many people. Maybe it was because of a trauma. Maybe we were taken advantage of or mistreated. But whatever the case, I can't trust anyone is a perspective that can hinder you from forming meaningful relationships. So instead, try this. I choose not to trust that person in that particular situation. I choose not to trust that person for that situation again in the future. Certainly, there are some people that have bad intentions. And I've learned that now from this situation. Do you see what I did there? See how that's different? When you say I can't, it's not good for the psyche. I don't want you using that. Try to stay away from I can't for the most part. I can't trust someone. Trust is not something that's out of your control. Trust is something that's in your control. Trust is a choice. So let's re-empower the selves and let's say, I choose to trust him. I choose not to trust her, right? You pick, you choose. So again, instead of I can't trust anyone because of what I went through, we frame it as I choose not to trust that person anymore. And certainly there are some people, I've learned that there are some people that have bad intentions. Yeah, that's true. But not everyone. And I will choose to trust some other people, right? Hopefully that makes sense to you. Let's do another example. I'll never be happy. I'll never be happy. Have you ever thought like that before? This creates a sense of hopelessness, leads to resignation. Then you just want to give up. Perhaps you went through some trauma. Perhaps something bad happened. What's a better frame instead of I'll never be happy? Sorry. What's a better frame instead of I'll never be happy? Try this. I choose to be happy. I make my own happiness. I choose to be happy. I make my own happiness. Again, we're taking ourselves out of the helplessness. I'll never, never again will I experience. And instead, we're getting into the seat of personal power. It's up to me. I make the decision as to whether I will be happy or if I will not. And I choose to be happy. And I choose to make my own happiness. We can do this even if we're temporarily stuck in an abusive relationship. We don't have to say I'll never be happy. We just say, I choose to be happy. I'm going to find my own happiness outside of this situation. Let's take another example. I don't deserve good things. I don't deserve good. Sometimes to make ourselves feel better about not having what we want, we just convince ourselves that we don't deserve anything better than what we've got. That is a detrimental frame. It's a negative contextualization. So, how can we contextualize the situation in our life in a way that's beneficial? Instead of saying, I don't deserve good things, which undermines our self worth and prevents us from accepting positive experiences and positive things in our life, say this: I want to have all the best for myself. I want to live a life of my choosing and my preference. Does that make sense? So, again, we're taking ourselves out of that helplessness and we're putting ourselves into the personal power, the choice, the what I want, the what I choose. I want to have best for my what's best for me. I want to live a life of my preference. When you say I deserve and I don't deserve, again, it's like some bigger force above you that you can't even have control of. Let's just choose for ourselves what we prefer over what we don't prefer instead of trying to figure out what we deserve on some universal level. Making sense? Let's try another one. I can't change who I am. I used to have someone in my life tell me that. I can't change who I am. This is a detrimental frame. This limits personal growth and the possibility for self-improvement. Instead, let's try I choose to grow. I choose to improve every day. I will not stay stagnant. I choose to grow. I choose to improve every day. I will not stay stagnant. I can change. I will change for the better. I am adaptable. Much better, right? Much better frame, much better contextualization. Let's say we're in a situation and we need to ask for help, but then you get that doubt in your mind like, oh, I don't want to look dumb. Or if I ask for help, then I'll look weak. Detrimental frame. You see how that's going to harm you in the end? It prevents you from seeking support and leads to unnecessary struggle when someone just could have helped you or you could have just reached out and got the help you needed. So instead of, oh, I'll look dumb, or if I ask for help, I'll look weak, let's reframe this. How can we do that? How about if I ask for help, I may get the help I need. Then if I get the help I need, I'll become the best version of myself. I'll live a better life. I'll be smarter and actually less dumb. I'll become stronger and actually less weak. So obtaining the help I need could be just that vital step to get me in the direction I really want to go. So I will ask for the help because if I ask, I may actually receive it. That's to our benefit. Benefit. We must get in the habit of benefiting ourselves. Okay. Let me give you another example. What if you're dealing with anxiety and you say, I'll always be stressed? I'm always going to be stressed. Detrimental frame. Detrimental frame. That belief leads you to more anxiety, and then it creates a inevitability about stress, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and undermines the potential that you could get good coping strategies under your belt. So instead of, I'll always be stressed, let's try, I choose to be calm and unbothered. I choose to be calm and unbothered. Yeah, I choose to learn ways to manage my stress. I choose to have faith. Much better, right? hmm hmm You guys are already coming up with some good examples. I'm going to need to unleash this and let you guys start coming up with some stuff. How about I give you one more example, and then we'll see if you got the hang of putting things in a positive context. How about this one? People only like me for what I do. So let's say someone shows that they do like you, and then you discredit them liking you and say, "Oh, they only like me because I do stuff for them." It's called discounting the positive. It's cognitive distortion. And, sir, that is a negative, detrimental frame. So, how can we frame that in a way that would be beneficial to ourselves instead? Someone likes us. How about this? We could say, there are so many reasons to love me. There are so many. I am so lovable. I don't know why this particular person likes me, and I don't care. I'm going to keep being myself. Not to mention, if they like me for some particular reason, that's not a bad thing. What if they do like me for what I do for them? That's fine. Sometimes I like people for what they do for me. What's the problem with that? Let's not make it a negative, detrimental, right? Put ourselves in this victim mindset category. It could be a good thing. I'm glad they find value. I find value in our relationship as well. Okay, let me give you guys the opportunity here. So you can use the comment section. So get your typing fingers ready. Get some stretching going here. I'm going to give you the detrimental frame, and you, fast as you can, flip that into positive frame. By doing this, we get the uh, neural pathways program so that we can't stand the detrimental frame and we always go to the positive frame. That's what we have to do. We have to train ourselves to do that because, again, going to the detrimental frame is easy, it's natural. Anyone can do it. It takes no special skill. Anyone can think negative, right? So let's take this one. I was just not meant for success. I was just not meant for success. Maybe we had a setback, didn't get that job promotion. Maybe someone else is doing better than us. We see them on the internet, on social media. And we go, I'm just not meant for success. All right, let's flip into beneficial mindset. What do you got? It can be difficult to achieve success, but I can do it. There you go. I am a success at everything I do. Love that. Love that. I already am a success. Very good. I will learn from my failures. Very good. Very good. I choose to improve on myself so I can succeed. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Very good. Um, those are good beneficial frames. Those are good beneficial frames. This one, what I seek is seeking me, not the strongest beneficial frame. Um, I understand from New Age and law of manifestation thinking, this would be sort of the way to talk. Like, what I seek is seeking me, but it's not rooted in any type of science. There are all types of things seeking you, including predators. So what you seek is not necessarily seeking you. Sometimes you got to go out and you got to find it. Right? If I want some wild mushrooms, I may have to go out and search for those wild mushrooms. They may not be seeking me. So that's not actually how the universe works. So we want to work within how the universe actually works, and let's put the power on ourselves, okay? Just want you to know that, so you know how to do this in a way that's really going to work. Let's put the power on ourselves. So what I seek, I can find. what I put my sights on, I can deliver it. If I keep knocking, right, it will be open. If I keep searching, that's where we want to put the stress and the emphasis. Let's do another one. Uh, Something goes wrong, and you say, "This is all my fault." That's detrimental frame. This is all my fault. Okay. Well, that promotes excessive guilt. That can be emotionally draining. Okay. So how can we flip that instead of this is all my fault when something goes wrong? I will use this as a learning opportunity so that I can be better next time. Good. Good. I'll keep trying to be successful. When one door closes, another one will open if I'm willing to seek it. Yes, what I can change, what can I change to be a better version of me in the future? Yes. Stephen, nothing is ever completely my fault. That is also beneficial frame. Things happen. I will do better next time. Yeah, so if you examine that idea of fault, usually something is not 100% your fault. Chances are what you're saying is all your fault isn't actually all your fault. And so if you were to look at it with total balance, you would realize there's a lot of factors involved that you couldn't control. Okay, so instead you say, oh, we only can control our own behavior. Good. We want to say, this is a tragedy. Instead of this is all my fault, no, this is a tragedy. This is not what I would have wanted. This is not what I would have wanted. This is not what I planned. But maybe there were some things I could have done differently. Yeah. But I can only do what I can do. And right now I can't change the past. So there's no point stressing about it. You see how I changed the framing of that situation? I framed it as a tragedy. Okay. Something goes wrong that's outside of me. Okay. This isn't what I wanted. Let's shed some of that excess blame. I wouldn't have wanted this. I didn't plan for this. This is not how I wanted things to go. Maybe if I look back, there could have been some things I could have done differently, but I'll never know if that would have changed the outcome. So I can only do what I can do. So I need to focus now, here, on what I can do. Does that make sense? That's how we recontextualize that. All right, let's take another example. We'll do it together here. Um, you got dumped, or maybe ghosted, or just something didn't go right with the last conversation with this person that you last started talking to, and then you do this. I'll never find someone who loves me. I'll never find someone who loves me. Can you such sense how that's a detrimental frame? What do you got for that? Because if you leave me stuck here, this leads to pessimism about relationships and it discourages openness. I'm not going to move forward. I'm not going to try with this attitude. I'll never find someone who loves me. It's going to lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. So how do we flip this around, recontextualize the situation to our benefit, to our benefit, to our benefit? I'm thankful that someone violated my standards and has removed themselves. Now I'm free to find someone. Very good. Yeah. So now we've reframed the loss of the person as a freedom. Now we've opened up more opportunity, more freedom. Absolutely. I must have dodged a bullet. Good. Good. No, we won't do comparisons. I simply came across someone that I wasn't his cup of tea. Yeah. And don't forget that they may not have been yours either. We might not have got a chance to truly know them, but that's true. Maybe I just wasn't his cup of tea. That's a much better way of framing it. Yeah. There's someone who is better for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There is someone else out there that will value me and love me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When the time is right, I'll find the perfect person. Yeah. Glad I know that person, how that person feels. I'll find love eventually. Absolutely. That's very good. Yeah. I am worthy of love. Even better. Even better. Let's take it back at the locus of control. Let's bring it internal. Yeah. So instead of I'll never find someone who loves me, we say I am lovable. I love me. God loves me. I've been loved before, and probably I'll be loved again. But either way, I'm not worried about it. You see what we did there? So instead of I'll never find someone that loves me, whoa, that's false. It's not beneficial. I'm lovable, first of all. So that there's no issue with me being someone being able to love me. First of all, see, I'm defending the ego. Number two, I am loved. So to say no one will ever love me is a faithless, baseless statement because I love me, which is my responsibility, and God loves me. So how am I going to say no one loves me? How's that supposed to make my God feel? Also, if I go into the past, I can find evidence that I've been loved before. And so that's what we say to ourselves. I've been loved before. Love, it can come, it can go. I've been loved before, but my love is constant, eternal. The love of my God, constant, eternal. And I'll probably be loved again since I'm so lovable, but I'm not worried about that right now. It just didn't work out with this person. Now we're able to move on properly. We've protected the ego. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? We can't accept something detrimental like that, something so false like that. Let's do another one. Let's say we failed, we got a setback, something just didn't go right. Maybe we lost a job opportunity. And we go, this setback defines me, or this failure defines me. I guess this is who I am now. Detrimental frame. This frame temporarily challenges. I'm sorry. It temporarily puts us it takes a temporary challenge and it makes us into a permanent failure. If you can understand what I'm trying to say there, it takes a temporary challenge and turns us into a permanent failure. Oh, this defines me. So how can we flip this? Okay, we had a setback, we had a failure. How do we flip it? The situation doesn't define me. Very good. God does. Got to find out why it's triggering you, not giving power to the person. Good. Always felt like some people in my life tried to villainize me. No, I don't know what you're doing with that. I am capable to open new doors for me. Yes. Yes, this was an opportunity for growth and learning. Yes, this gives me insight on the areas I can improve on for the next opportunity. Yes, I'm still epic no matter what. Yes. Well, you guys are quiet today. So the key is not to place. He's asking questions. One door opens, another door. One door closes, another door opens. Yes, I'm capable to open new doors for me, even stronger, even stronger. Good, good, good. Let me help you guys out with this one. Okay. Instead of this setback defines me, this failure defines me, it's a failure. When you guys talked about learning from it, that's the right context for a failure. Also, nobody remembers failures. So that's what I'm going to say to myself. Nobody remembers failures. It's like pets.com. Anyone remember that website? Not really, because that was Jeff Bezos' idea of how he was going to sell pets online, and it failed. But nobody remembers that. They just remember his success. So this is just my pets.com. Nobody remembers failures. Failures are where I learn. Setbacks are where I get creative. Just like that. The setback doesn't define me. The setback doesn't define me. Very good. So you guys have done great on this exercise. What I would recommend for you to do if you want to work on this a little bit more, which let me rephrase that. You need more work on this. So here's what I recommend you do so you can get more work on this. Go to YouTube and then type in contextualization Roman and it'll come up, or you can go on my channel in the video section It was posted 2 weeks ago, Contextualization Part 1, and you get more opportunities. I'm going to pause and let you try to think of how you would recontextualize this. Why do we need to do this? Because repetition is how you reprogram the subconscious mind. So you're going to train your brain through doing this exercise over and over again to recontextualize everything in your life. And since you are responsible for giving your life its meaning and its context, you need to become very good at this skill. This is easily one of the top most important life skills that you can have is recontextualize, knowing how to contextualize in the positive, contextualize in the positive, contextualize in the positive, to the point where you can walk around laughing at potential obstacles and things that other people would find as very challenging setbacks. So get your practice in, go on YouTube, free video there, Contextualization by Roman Zanoni. Go ahead and take a look at that and get to practicing.